Good morning, everyone. My name is Mai, and I'm working for STI Destination Handling based in Heusenstamm near Frankfurt. I'm the representative for Within Earth Holidays, which we handle for Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And today I brought you a wonderful topic with me. We will present Borneo with you. And my colleague Saini, who is the Executive Director of Within Earth Holidays Malaysia, is here to be with you. Saini, the spotlight is on you.
Okay, a very good morning to you. Good afternoon for my side. It's 4 o'clock in Malaysia. Okay, thank you for attending this webinar about Malaysia and specifically about Borneo. As you all know, Malaysia is basically in two parts, which is we have the Peninsula Malaysia on the west coast, and we have the Borneo part under Sabah and Sarawak, which belongs in Malaysia, for Malaysia, and we have Kalimantan, which belongs to Indonesia and Brunei. So, introduction to Borneo, it is actually the third largest island in the world. It has a rich biodiversity for rainforest, wildlife, and coral reefs. Also, cultural diversity on indigenous tribes, Malay, Chinese influence. It's where nature meets culture and adventure. So, flights into Borneo, unfortunately, there's no direct flight from Europe into Borneo. So most of the people, they fly via Kuala Lumpur or Singapore. So from Kuala Lumpur, you can fly directly to Kuching, Miri, which is in Sarawak, and to Kota Kinabalu, Sandakan, and Tawau in Sabah. From Kuala Lumpur, you can either fly by Malaysian Airlines, Firefly, Batik Air, or AirAsia. Or you can also go via Singapore, which is to Kota Kinabalu and Kuching. There, the flights are mainly by Scoot, which belongs to Singapore Airlines, and AirAsia. So let's go to Sarawak. So Sarawak is the northwest of Borneo Island, and the capital is Kuching. And Sarawak is also called the land of the hornbills, because we have so many species of a variety of hornbills. Population is about 2.6 million. It is the biggest state in Malaysia. And we have the ethnical diversity of the Iban, the Chinese, the Malay, Bidayu, Melanau, and the Orang Ulu, and so many other tribes as well. So this is the basic program in Sarawak, 7 days, 6 nights. So to go through is arrival Kuching, we do a city tour, we visit the Orangutan Sanctuary, Ana Rais Longhouse, the Bako National Park, and then we fly over to Mulu to see the caves over there. So Kuching is also known as the City of the Cats. In Malay, the name Kuching means cats. So it's actually the gateway of Sarawak culture and nature. Famous for the old shop houses, modern cafes, and museums over there. So the Kuching highlights, what we can do is over there is the Kuching City Tour, gastronomy tour, the visit to the Semongok Wildlife Center for the orangutans, the Bako National Park, Iban Longhouse of the Ana Rais, which is near to Kuching, and the Ukom Longhouse, the Iban Longhouse, and also the Sarawak Culture Village, beach day, and of course the local cuisine. So Kuching City is actually near the waterfront. So there's a big area of the waterfront area, which is where you can visit at night and walk at night. There's a lot of activities over there at night, and there's also a lot of shops nearby. So Sarawak or Kuching is famous also for the layer cake. So we will normally see how the layer cakes are made actually. It will take about it's normally half the city tour, and for the layer cake, when we visit the place, to make the full layer cake, it can take 4 to 5 hours actually.
Can we do a
Uh,
cooking class actually, Saini, to learn how
yes,
to do the
we
layer
can
cakes if we're
we can
interested
do
in?
a quick class, but for 4 or 5 hours, it takes a bit,
Mm.
maybe a bit too long. So they will just do a demonstration of how the layer cake is made.
What taste is a layer cake actually? Is it something
It's
sweet or
it
something
is it is
salty?
it is sweet. So as the name said, it's a layer by layer. So they have to go every layer. They have to bake it and then put it to assemble basically the whole cake.
Wow.
Yes. So
How
in
many
as
layers
a,
are there actually? Sorry.
it could be a lot of layers, as you can see from the picture as well.
And then you put all the colors in there, to make it
Exactly,
very bright.
exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
Looks good.
So that is famous for Kuching. Of course, as I said, the name Kuching, it means cat. So there's a lot of cat statues as well in Kuching itself. So the gastronomic tour, we have a gastronomic tour, so you can visit, of course, the making of the layer cake. Plus also what is famous in Kuching is the chicken bamboo, where they make the chicken dish inside the bamboo. And they are famous also for, maybe people have heard about the Penang laksa. In Sarawak, they have the Sarawak laksa, which is more curry-based laksa, and the kolomi, and also they have a special a fern, which is called the midin fern, which is actually a jungle vegetables. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Semongok Wildlife Center, it's actually where orphaned orangutans are sent. So to bring them back into the wild. So these are semi-wild orangutans, and we normally visit them during the feeding time. So there are two feeding time, which is normally in the morning and also the late afternoon. During the fruit season, some of the orangutans may not come to the feeding platform. Another part where you can see wildlife is actually the Paco National Park. You can see a variety of monkeys, but also the famous monkey. What you can see there is the proboscis monkey, and it's famous for the unique rock formation, and people normally go there also for trekking as well. There are some jungle trails which people can do over there, and normally it's a full day tour to Paco National Park. The Anarais Longhouse, normally we combine this with the Semongo Orangutan Wildlife Center. So the Anarais is actually a longhouse by the Bidayu people who lived there for over 150 years. So these people are still living in those longhouses, and it has more than 80 doors. So each door actually represents a family. So we can actually walk through these longhouses and also join them with some of the activities what they do over there. Another longhouse, which is a bit further away to the interior of Sarawak, is the Ukong Longhouse. It's about 4 to 6 hours drive. It's a scenic drive once you reach the Batang Ai area. Basically, from there, we take another 1 hour boat ride to the Ukong Longhouse. So these are the Ibans Longhouse. So the Ibans were what we call it headhunters. So they used to 100+ years ago, they used to kill people or to beheaded people to bring the head back and to showcase that that they can protect the family, and if they want to get married, they need to showcase that they are man enough to protect the family. So some of the heads or the skulls are still at the longhouse for display. So people can actually stay at the longhouse, but these are not. It's very basic where they can stay. These are basically mattresses. It's about 20 mattresses they have there where you can stay, and you can do all the activities like fishing, blowpipe, making of fire and whatnot over there. So basically the Ibans, yes, they are still living in the interior of the jungle.
Tiny, are there any electricity or warm water in the longhouses?
No. Electricity, no, it's all what I call it the diesel operator. It is not full electricity, so your
It's very
mobile
basic.
phones, yeah, it's very basic. So normally daytime they don't have the electricity. They still use a lot of what they can get from the jungle.
I understand. So it's very back to nature and
Very back
experience
to nature.
for
Yes.
for clients who want the full immersion of being in the jungle and experience the life 100 years before without the killing, honestly. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So Batangai area is actually there used to be a Hilton over there in the middle of the lake actually. So unfortunately, it has been disbanded, and now to go to the Longhouse, you either have to stay there one night a minimum, or you can stay at the mainland and then go by boat to the Longhouses. So another place which we can do in Kuching is the Sarawak Cultural Village. It's a living museum. This is where the traditional longhouses are from various tribes, ethnic groups in Sarawak. So like the Iban, Bidayu, and Malanao. So in each longhouse, you can actually do a variety of activities inside the longhouse, and they have a beautiful show at the end as well. It's a traditional dance. In Kuching, there's only one beach area, which is called the Damai Beach area. So there's basically two resorts. One is the Damai Beach Resort, which is undergoing renovation at this moment. And the other one is the Damai Lagoon Resort, which just has underwent the renovation, and it's open, and it's a 5-star resort, but with 4-star rates. So from Kuching, we can go to Mulu. So to go to Mulu, you can fly by Maswing, which is they fly the ATR 72-500. It's a 72-seater. So you can either go via Kuching or Miri or Kota Kinabalu. So Mulu National Park, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Basically, when you arrive in the afternoon, we go straight for a visit to show caves after you check in. And one of the caves is basically the Deer and the Lung Cave. And one of the caves, there's millions of bats coming out of it. So to walk through the cave, there's a boardwalk. So it's about 4 to 5 kilometer long boardwalk to go and visit the caves. And you can see one of the cave also has a silhouette of the Abraham Lincoln. The next day, you can visit the Penang tribes, and then the Wind and the Clearwater Cave. So basically, it's a 3 days, 2 nights caving what we do over there. And people can stay at the Mulu Marriott Resort, which is in Mulu itself. Or this is a 5-star resort, of course, or they can visit and stay at the Park HQ chalets, which is more basic.
Tiny, would you say that the Mulu case okay for older clients, like because we got like younger
Yes.
active clients, and then we
Yes.
sometimes
Actually,
have people like 60, 70 years old?
It is possible, definitely, because there's a boardwalk to walk to the two caves, the Deer and the Lung Cave. And also inside the cave as well, there's a walkway as well. For the Clearwater Cave and the Wind Cave, you actually go by boat, and then you can visit the cave inside. So it is not, elderly people, they definitely can do that as well.
Perfect.
There's also nearby the Pinnacles. what you can see on the top right, it's actually those are called pinnacles. So you can do extreme actually climb to the pinnacles. So basically it's 3 days, 2 nights stay over there in a base camp. So the first part is actually from the ground or from the Mulu area. You have to go to Camp 5, and there's a specific timing that you need to reach the Camp 5. In case you cannot make it, then the trip is being called off and you have to return. So even from Camp 5 and go to the viewpoint, there is also a certain time for you to reach it as well. So that's why it's quite an extreme climb, because it's not a normal walkway, and you have to climb and you have to do a bit of trekking as well. So that is also available at the Mulu area. Okay, so from Mulu we can go to Sabah. So this is a basic program, what we can do in Sabah, right? You can see that. So Sabah is also called the land below the wings. As you know that Sabah is just next to the Philippines, and the Philippines is famous for its typhoon. So Sabah is just below it, so we get the tail end of the typhoons. That's why it's called the land below the wings. So the capital city is called Kota Kinabalu, and it has about 3.5 million population of Kadazan, Dusun, Bajau, Murut, Malay, and Chinese, and further indigenous groups. So Kota Kinabalu is the gateway to Borneo. Basically, the city is at the seaside, so you can see some of the islands, which is just 15 minutes away, 15 to 20 minutes away from it, which is called the Tunku Abdul Rahman Park, and they have the mountain behind them, which is the Mount Kinabalu. So the basic half-day Kota Kinabalu city tour, we visit the Sabah State Museum, the handicraft market, which is also called the Filipino market, and there you can hunt for pearls, handicraft, and souvenirs. And of course, we visit the local markets as well.
Why is it called Filipino market actually, Saini?
Because we are so near to Philippines, actually, there's a lot of people from the Philippines who actually residing in Sabah. These are basically, so they are the one who first started doing trading at the site of Kota Kinabalu. So that's why we call it the Filipino market.
Okay, all right.
So in Sarawak, in Sabah, they have also the cultural village, which is called Mari Mari Cultural Village. So there you can discover the Sabah living heritage of the Mari Mari Cultural Village. So we have traditional houses of 5 major tribes, which is the Dusun, the Rungus, the Lundaye, Bajau, and Murut. So there you can experience making fire, blowpipe hunting, rice wine brewing, and much more. So basically, it's a half-day visit, which we can do to the Mari Mari Cultural Village. For those who don't have the time or the means to go to Sandakan for the wildlife, they can see some of the wildlife in and around Kota Kinabalu. So they can go to the Klias Wetlands River Safari. So the Klias River, basically, it's an open boat, and where we can visit the proboscis monkey at the riverside. Then we go for dinner, and after that, we will visit the fireflies before we return back to Kota Kinabalu. In Sabah, you can also do whitewater rafting. There are 2 rivers in and around Kota Kinabalu. One of it is Kulu, which is grade 1 and 2, which is good for beginners and for families. It's a very mild river. Whereas the Padas River, it's a bit more adrenaline rush. It's a grade 3 and 4. Whitewater rafting. So to go there, you have to go take the local train to go up. And after the ride as well, you need to go on the track to go to the train station again. So the Tunku Abdul Rahman Marine Park, which is just 20 minutes boat ride from Kota Kinabalu. So there you can do snorkeling and diving as well. So for those who like to have see the underwater world, it's still you can see a lot of nice fishes and the coral reef as well. So the holy mountain of Kinabalu is called the Mount Kinabalu. It's actually about 4,000 meters above sea level. It is the highest mountain in Southeast Asia. And normally for day trip, we are at the foot of the Mount Kinabalu. And for those who would like to trek up the Mount Kinabalu, it's a 2 days, 1 night event where you have to stay in a base camp. And the early morning, the next day, you have to depart at around 2, 3 o'clock to go all the way to the peak and to see the first sunrise. We combine normally the Mount Kinabalu tour with the pouring hot springs. It's, as the name says, we have natural hot springs over there. People can do a bit of mountain trekking and they have the canopy walk. Plus also they have the biggest flower in the world, which is called the Rafflesia. You may not see it or bloom it because they only bloom a few times in a year. And after they bloom, it's very become very smelly as well. So it is the biggest flower in the world. So from there, you can actually overnight or stay in the Sabah Tea Garden. So they make organic tea plantation. So there's a guided factory tour, tea factory tour with a beautiful view of the Mount Kinabalu. Plus also they have a fish spa at the Sungai Moroli. So normally the fishes are small when you do fish spa, but over here the fishes are quite big as your hand actually. So you can stay in traditional longhouse style rooms. And if the Sabah Tea is full, we can stay in nearby resorts as well. So from Sabah Tea, we can actually drive all the way to Sandakan. Sandakan also known as the Nature City or Little Hong Kong. So this is also the gateway to the wildlife as well. The wildlife you can see in in Sandakan is actually the Sepilok. It's the Sepilok Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. Again, these are orphaned orangutans, which they bring to the center and they are groomed to go back into the wild again. So these are semi-wild. So these orangutans are basically living in the jungle and at the nearby jungle. So when you're walking to the feeding platform, sometimes you can see them swinging tree to tree, going to the feeding platform, or if you're lucky, they even can walk next to you as well to go and go to the feeding platform. Since a few years, we have the Borneo Sun Bear Conservation Center at the nearby Sepilok. So these are the Borneo sun bear. They are basically they're the smallest of the bear species, and they basically are plant-eating bears. Plus, nearby as well is the proboscis monkey sanctuary at Labuan Bay. So you can see them in the natural habitat, and they normally come throughout the whole day at the bay side. Further up is actually, we can drive all the way to Sukau. It's another 2-3 hours ride. And through, we call it also, you can drive through the Borneo Masas actually, because the road is not that, it's not that tarred. So it's a lot of potholes on the road to go to Sukau. So Sukau is actually based in the Kinabatangan River. So normally we do river cruises early morning at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and in the late afternoon around 4 o'clock. So because that is when the wildlife are more active. So during the river cruise, you can basically see the wild proboscis monkey, a variety of hornbills, crocodiles, and also, if you're lucky, the wild orangutans. Nearby the lodges, you can also, if you're lucky, you can see the smallest of the elephants, which is called the Borneo pygmy elephant. So the accommodation is basically very basic. They have a few lodges. In the month of July, August, that is their peak period. So if you need to book, please book way in advance. And yeah, it is because they're very popular among the Europeans to stay there. It is a lot of wildlife diversity in and around the Sukau and the Kinabatangan area. About 2-3 hours away from the Sukau area is actually called Denim Valley. So Denim Valley is actually a conservation area. It's one of the last remaining pristine rainforest, covering about 400 square meters, 400 square kilometers.
Tiny.
5-star lodge.
Are you back?
Sorry, basically it's a Borneo Rainforest Lodge. It's a 5-star lodge. So they have limited rooms over there, I think about 20 plus rooms only. And it's a first come, first serve, of course. And once you book also, you need to make the full payment as well. Okay, from there we can go to the underwater world of the Sipadan, Mabul, and Kapalai Islands. Sipadan is among the top 10 dive destinations in the world. So there you can see the whale sharks. So you can do either snorkeling or diving in and around the Sipadan area. Sipadan is a marine park, so there are only limited number of people allowed to dive or snorkel in and around the Sipadan area. So they have other islands as well, like Mabul and Kapalai, where you can overnight. And in that area also, we have the sea gypsies who stay over there as well.
So you can overnight on Mabul Island, actually, Saini, right?
You can stay overnight at Mabul Island or Kapalai Islands. A lot of the resorts are on stilts, but they also on the island as well.
So those
there's a variety of 4-star and 5-star resort, I would say.
The one in the picture is it more 5-star? Because they look kind of as Maldives, actually, like similar to Maldives, actually.
A little bit. So they call it they call it the Maldives of Borneo, but less expensive than the real Maldives.
So it's a real deal. So if you don't want to go to Maldives because it's too expensive, we can go to Borneo and stay on Mabul Island, because you can see the whale sharks as well as a lot of fishes and turtles, maybe. So this might be an insider tip.
Yes. Exactly. So the general weather in Sabah and Sarawak, or actually across Malaysia, is actually about 27 to 32 degrees. Rainfall, normally November to February, that's where most is our monsoon actually. So that's where most of the rain is falling during that period. And the most favorable travel months are March to October. The humidity for Peninsula and Borneo, it's above 80%. And the best time to visit wildlife, I would say, is April to September, and for diving in Sipadan, April to July. Okay, safety in Borneo, because unfortunately, certain part of Borneo, or the west part of Borneo, they still have what do you call it? Restrictions, or not restrictions. What do you call it, Mai?
It's called partial travel issue or warning, maybe.
Yes, it's a negative travel advisory. Sorry.
Yes.
I couldn't find the word. So a negative travel advisory that is near the Lahadatu area or the west part of Borneo because of the vicinity of with the Philippines.
It's only for cruises, right? Because it's very close to the Philippines. And I think the warnings are actually targeting the cruises going between Lahadatu and Kunak to the Philippines. So basically, I think if you're on traveling by land, it's totally safe because a lot of police and warnings go up,
Exactly.
and the police forces has been raised up.
There's a big presence of police force and army forces in Sabah to protect the area and protect the tourists as well. So every tourist are registered and they know exactly how many tourists are in that area. So it's a quite a protected area. Okay, travel tips for those coming into Malaysia. You need to fill up the Malaysian digital arrival card. Currency is basically the Malaysian ringgit. ATMs available in the major cities, large town, but always carry some cash for remote areas. The weather is hot and humid year round. So for the wildlife etiquette, observe animals quietly and from safe distance. Flash photography is discouraged. Okay. So a lot of people asking also that, okay, Sabah versus Sarawak, which place to go and which place is suitable to my clientele. So the capital city is Kota Kinabalu for Sabah, a seaside city, gateway to Mount Kinabalu and nearby islands, whereas Kuching is a charming riverside, colonial heritage, and vibrant food scene. Both have a lot of nature and wildlife, where for Sabah is, of course, the Mount Kinabalu, the Sepilak Orangutan, and the Kinabatangan River Safaris, where Sarawak has the Mulu Caves, Paku National Park, and the Semongo Orangutan Center. So for the beaches, I believe Sabah has the upper hand. They have the Tunku Abdul Rahman Marine Park, the Sipadan, the Mabul, Mata King, and they have world-class diving and snorkeling. Where Sarawak, it's more towards the Damai Beach, Santubong area, where they only have 1 or 2 resorts over there. Culture and heritage, both are very interested. They have the indigenous Kadasan, Dusun, Bajau, and Murut culture in Sabah, and the Iban and Bidayu longhouses in Sarawak. So for the adventurous, Mount Kinabalu, of course, you can do mountain climbing. They have river safaris, island hopping, and diving. Where Sarawak is more for cave exploration, rainforest trekking, longhouse stays, and river journeys. So both have, of course, the harvest festivals, which is the Kamatan or the Rainforest World Music Festival in Sarawak. And Sabah, I would say, is perfect for nature lovers, divers, families who want to have a balance of wildlife, islands, and adventure. Whereas Sarawak is ideal for seeking authentic cultural immersion, rainforest trekking, and unique cave systems.
So, Sayani, would you say, because we planned like 1 week for Sabah or 1 week for Sarawak, but usually a lot of clients not only do Borneo, but they do a combination. Either do a combination with Singapore flying in
Yes.
or Malaysia. What kind of combination would you recommend if a client's asking you they want to spend maybe 2 weeks in Malaysia and Borneo? How would you split it?
I would do, if they want to do the whole of Borneo, I would stay, let's do 2 nights in Kuala Lumpur and then go towards either Kuching. You can stay 2 nights in Kuching, visit the Paku National Park, visit to a city tour and visit the Longhouse in Kuching, and then either move to Mulu to stay the 3 days, 2 nights caving in Mulu, and then go towards Kota Kinabalu, visit the Mount Kinabalu and the Pouring Hot Springs, Sabati, and then go to Sandakan. Do the wildlife over there for 3 days, 2 nights in Sandakan, and come back to Kota Kinabalu for your beach stay before you go over to either Kuala Lumpur or back or to Singapore. So you can combine it with Singapore as well.
And would you say depending on the budget, which region is more affordable? Is it going to be Sarawak or is it going to be Sabah?
Sarawak is more affordable because in Sabah the distance it's you may need to take the flight from Kota Kinabalu to Sandakan or go overland places. So, and the hotel also, it's a bit on the higher end in Sabah as well. So I would say Sabah, it's a bit more expensive than Sarawak.
I see. All right. So we have hit the last page, Saini, and we are open for any questions at the moment. Please put them in the chat, or I can also voice up your voice if you like to. And Saini, I think your camera is off, just to let you know we don't see you, but may also be the connection. I've got also a good notice, which I discussed with Saini before. He told me that for Borneo, you do have English. Okay, so for Borneo, we do have local English speaking guides, If you have any clients who want to speak or go with German speaking guides, we have to fly them in from the peninsula. So just to let you know, if you go to Borneo, we do have two kind of guides. So it's going to be a local English speaking guide who's connected to nature. And then we have a German speaking guide who only translate, So just to let you know, if you have clients who do speak a very good English, you don't need a German guide, because flying in with German guide is going to be more expensive, So we've got both options to let you know. All right. Any more questions? Because we are really good on time, Saini. We still have like 25 minutes. So we're going to be here until 11, hopefully. And just give us a feedback, write in the chat. Have any questions, just let me know. You can also drop Saini and me a message afterwards. I will provide you with the video of the webinar as usual. And I will also send you the presentation as well as the proposals, examples, hopefully tomorrow or by Thursday the latest. And please come to us if you have any questions regarding Borneo. If it's not Borneo, we can also do Malaysia. We're up for anything here.
Exactly. No questions?
We're kind of shy. Maybe the question. Maybe we talk so much, Saini, that no questions are coming in from my side. I took all the questions so far. So basically, yeah, I think Borneo in my head has always been, I don't know, when I speak about Malaysia, and Borneo has always been a destination for me, which is very unknown, When I think of Borneo, it's always like, okay, I think of orangutans and I think of jungle, and then I think of longhouses. But
wildlife
is
very important, in Borneo. It is still, besides Africa, I believe it is one of the other places where you can still see a lot of wildlife, and that's why Borneo is close to my heart, and I like to go to Borneo. I've been to Borneo around as well. So yeah, it is one of my favorite places to go.
But also compared to the other parts of Malaysia, I think Borneo is like it's more expensive, I think, in regard of the normal peninsula of Malaysia, right?
Yes, because they have to import everything. They have to import from the peninsula, so that's why groceries or everything is a little bit more expensive than in Borneo than in peninsula.
So people go Borneo actually. So if we say Borneo, I would say it's gonna be for people who are like very dedicated to nature, who wants to see wildlife, families, for example. Would you say Borneo is also like a very, very beach destination, or is it like it has a beach, but you wouldn't come for the beach actually,
In Sabah or near Kota Kinabalu, it has quite a number of resorts over there. Most of the 5-star resorts, most of the resorts actually are all 5 stars. So some of the the islands near to Kota Kinabalu, they have their own resorts. So they have the Gaia Island Resort. It's just one island, one resort.
Borneo
Plus
Eagle
also,
as well, I think.
yes. Plus also you have the Shangri-Las as well over there. You have the Shangri-La Rasaria and you have the Shangri-La Tanjung Aru Resort. So these are all 5-star resorts. And the sunset is something amazing in Borneo, especially in Kota Kinabalu. They have amazing sunsets.
I can't think of it. So because it's there's a question coming in from Heidi. So Heidi's asking, are there any spots in Borneo that suffer from over-tourism, or is it more a remote destination?
No, to be true, Kota Kinabalu, yes, because although they don't have direct connectivity with Europe, but they do have a lot of connectivity with China and Taiwan and Korea. So there's a lot of those tourists from that part of Asia who comes to Kota Kinabalu. So sometimes the hotels in Kota Kinabalu can be quite full during the month of July, August, and also the island as well, the Tunku Abdul Rahman Park. It could be too many Chinese visitors during a certain time of the year.
So which time would you avoid actually for the Chinese, honestly?
July, August, actually, that's the main part. These people, they mainly go to Kota Kinabalu, but they will not go to Sandakan area. So Sandakan, it's mainly still for the European or the Australian clientele.
Okay, so but we as a DMC will like suggest you the area which to avoid, and we also give you, yeah, because you know the German market. So no hotels where like buses of Chinese are coming in, maybe because most of our clients prefer small boutique hotels, you know, nice 4-star, 5-star hotels, and go directly to another time than when the mass are coming in, you know. So that's what we need your help to create a very nice itinerary for our clients. No more question, guys. Did we answer all your questions right now, or anything you want to mention, or anything you have in your heart? Feel free to tell us. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Let me think.
There's also another place in Sandakan area which I did not mention. It's called Turtle Island or Selingan Island. So it's a spot where normally the turtles are coming ashore at night. So you have to stay there at least a one-night stay. And normally the rangers will call you from your rooms to say that the turtles have been landed. So you can actually see the turtles laying their eggs, and they also if you're lucky as well, you can actually, they have some hatching of the turtles. So you can hold it in your hand and bring them out to the sea.
Oh, wow, again, that sounds nice.
This place, unfortunately, has a limited space, about 30 to 40 rooms only. So it's, again, first come, first serve. And once you book, you need to make full payment for that.
What's the name of the place? Turtle Island, a resort?
Call it Turtle Island, or it's called also Selingan Island.
And it's close to Kota Kinabalu, or?
It's close to Sandakan.
At Sandakan, wow, because I experienced actually the hatching of turtles. It was not in Borneo, unfortunately, not yet, but it was in Vietnam. And I think this is a unique experience for everybody, for family, and, you know, those little sweet turtles, you know, it was really nice, you know. So coming back to snorkeling and diving actually in Borneo, you see the whale sharks. Is it a special season you have to see them, or is it a whole year round?
It's so far what I've heard is that actually the whole year round you can see them. Even while you are snorkeling, you can actually see the whale sharks as well.
Oh, wow. So I don't have to dive for it.
No. We had recent customers who went there. They were just snorkeling and they could see the whale sharks and the underwater world was amazing.
Wow. makes me really want to go to Borneo, Saini. We have to talk about my trip to Borneo next time.
Yes. Let's hope we can plan a fan trip to Borneo or to Malaysia.
Let's hope for it. I'm on all the planning for farm trips, Saini. I just need some tips from you to get me some tickets for the airlines. Actually, that it would help a lot if somebody has connections to a really good airline going to Malaysia or Singapore. Just let me know, because any assistance would be very appreciated.
Yes, you just need to buy the flight tickets and the land arrangement. We will take care of it. Not a problem.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way. But honestly, like in a couple of years, it's really hard to get some airlines helping us out with flights. So yeah, if we want to go to Borneo, I'm on planning it. And if you're interested, I will let you know when Sain and I have decided on planning something like that, just to let you experience Borneo, and me myself also going to Borneo would be a very good, nice idea. I think Julia is also writing an email questions, so let her tip. No tipping anymore. We are still here, we're very good on time. Any comments, just let us know. So Saini, how many times have you been to Borneo actually?
Oh, in my 30 years, not too long enough now. It's maybe about 20 times I've been to Borneo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So different part of Borneo, yes.
Yeah, it's big. It's like total different like country, because Malaysia is so big, and then you have like a peninsula, and then you got like the Borneo part, and then you got what is it called, Indonesian part,
Kalimantan.
South Kalimantan, so yeah, it's
Yes.
very, very
We
huge there.
can do combination as well with anything from Borneo and Brunei. That is something we can do as well. Unfortunately, there's no good connectivity with Kalimantan.
No, you can't
Not
go
yet.
with a flight or on a
There
cruise or
are
ferry down
some
there.
no to Kalimantan from Kuching. Actually, it's the connectivity is not that good. Everybody have to fly via Kuala Lumpur and back to Jakarta.
And
So
regarding the closeness to Philippines, would you say it also makes sense to fly from Borneo to the Philippines?
I don't think there is direct connectivity. I've yet to feel
Also,
it.
okay, so better combine it with either Kuala Lumpur or with Singapore. I think that's the
Correct.
easiest way.
Exactly.
Yeah, because a connection directly from Europe is not good. You can't directly fly into it, so everybody has to stay or one night at least.
So depending on the time, we normally will suggest you to either stay 1 or 2 nights in and around Kuala Lumpur before you go to the connecting flight to Borneo.
So you think it makes more sense because people don't want to stay in the same city. So maybe it could be an idea to fly either into Kuala Lumpur for 1 or 2 nights, then fly to Borneo, and then from Kota Kinabalu or Kuching, you could take a flight directly back to Singapore. Then we have two cities and make okay. Then we can stay in Singapore, which is also very, very nice. It's more an expensive side, I have to tell you, but the food is very good there, you know. So we can also help you with Singapore. If you got a combination with Singapore or Malaysia and want to have it in one hand, actually, just drop us a notice so we can also help you out there. So I don't see any questions coming in. Maybe wait for a couple of more minutes. And if there are no questions anymore right now, or I overwhelmed you with all my questions and signing me and talk so much, we thank you very much for your time, and really.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thank you for listening to the webinar.
to our podcast, Shiny. Me and you doing like a podcast. That should be a good idea, actually. So I think, thank you again very much. Anything will be sent to you directly afterwards. And feel free to let us know, we're here to help you with Borneo. And thank you very much for being here and for the presentation. And let's see if we can do a farm trip, if I can plan a next webinar. Any ideas, just let me know. You can call us anytime, send an email, write to Shiny. Yeah, any information will be given after this webinar. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a lovely morning, a lot of energy, and see you around, and hopefully we could help you out a little bit with Borneo. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, Shiny.